Two stars, shining their brilliance for over a decade in the cosmos. One day, something happens, and the two stars begin collapsing in on each other, forming a new, less brilliant star. The universe is unaware of its loss. This new star is the only one aware of the two missing stars. Does the universe even care that it has lost two of its lights? And if that one star figured out a way to bring back the other two, would the universe care that it sacrificed itself? As we journey through the rift, I want to ask a new question. Why can't all three exist? Alright, Felicia. Let's go over what we know.
Affirmative, Captain.
My mission is to meet up with this deep space transport carrying a bunch of terraformers in order to...
Captain Natanis, I have no record of a mission to meet up with a deep space transport.
What do you mean you have no record of this mission, Felicia? That's been our mission from the start. What are your prime directives?
Captain Natanis, my directives are 1. To assist you as much as possible in your endeavors to cleanse the universe of hostile alien life forms. 2. Provide tactical support whenever possible. 3. Deliver you safely to infected areas where you are needed the most.
Okay. Let's back up and go over what we know. First off, we know that the deep space transport ship has been unreachable for over a year. Second, we know that a dimensional rift has opened up on their current world. Third, two of their crew has gone missing for the past 4 months. Evidence points in two directions, one being that nobody is aware of their absence, and two, some of them are aware of their absence, but this is trading between being aware of their missing presence and not being aware of them. 4. One of their members has been fractured into two across two different dimensions. In her home dimension, she is unaware that anything has happened. However, her splintered self in this alternate universe is aware. And within that alternate universe, this is number 5, the Ender Dragon has vanished. No trace, it's just not there. And lastly, I have a ship that started out with no AI, but suddenly has you, Felicia, and my mission seems to have vanished. No, seriously, go check out the first few episodes. You didn't exist, Felicia.
Captain Natanis, I have been present this entire time. I do not concur with that last statement. Everything else is concurrent with what we have learned thus far.
Well, regardless, something is not adding up. With a dimensional rift, a time-space rift, and the fourth wall falling apart, things are just getting out of control, and I'm not piecing it together. Something's not making sense. We're missing something.
Captain Natanis, perhaps you need more time to think. Need I remind you of your obligations to log time in the Matrix?
Well, I don't see how that's going to help, but yes. Go ahead and boot up HCS 8.
Captain Natanis, Simulation HCS-8 standing by. I will continue scanning the anomalies for any further evidence in your investigation. Pleasant dreams, Captain.
Hello, Minecrafters and Redstoners. I'm Natanis Likens, and welcome back to my world that is now 1.19. So we're starting off things here in an extension to my trading hall. You may be wondering, why are we in a new trading hall section when we hadn't even really built the first one? Well, this is something that I've been wanting to do for like forever, and I just decided to go ahead and do it. We have a whole bunch of armorers, 14 in total. We have 14 weaponsmiths in total, and we have 14 toolsmiths and 14 fletchers. I really don't need that many Fletchers, but I figured while I was doing these guys, I might as well just go ahead and make these. So we went ahead and did that. And the real reason for this is one specific trade. You may remember that we have an iron farm with very little use for iron. That's for this trade right here. Iron for emeralds. That's exactly what we're after. I don't know why these guys haven't reset on their iron trades. Uh, I have noticed that a little bit with them. They're not resetting their iron. I don't know why, which is kind of troublesome. In general, like their trades are not resetting because of this guy. I can't get him past this until that sword unlocks, and I don't know why it's not unlocking. So, yeah. Dude, I need you to unlock your trade so that I can access more of your stuff. But yeah, that's what we got going on there. And uh, another reason for this is something I was working on. So with 1.19, we have frogs. And when frogs eat magma cubes, they drop frog lights. And the colors specific to the type of frog that we have. I haven't really bred up the frogs. They're still way over there. And we'll go see those because I actually did not show them. But there's two ways to get the frogs to eat up magma cubes. One is just build a farm inside of a basalt delta. The other one is a bastion. However, something that I learned while I was trying to do this is it is a very specific bastion. You need to look in your world for one called a bastion treasure room. It's the one that has the magma cube spawner. Yeah, I didn't know that at first, and being that this world is one part 1.17 and another part 1.19, that made trying to find a Bastion treasure room a little difficult. So yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Um, the first problem was the first one I found on a seed map was not there. It wasn't there. Instead, there was another fortress there. Now, in the 1.19 version of the map, it is there, and the Nether Fortress is pushed over in south, I believe, a little bit. But in 1.17, it just doesn't exist. It's not there. So I had to go and find another one. And I did find another one. We had about 4 or 5 deaths to that one. Um, I think it's not a treasure room. I think it's actually a, what is it? A bridge bastion. Yeah, it completely swapped types from 1.17 to 1.19. So I booted it back up in 1.17 and started looking around, and we found one. I am still working on clearing it out to get down to the bottom. So yeah, that's what we're gonna try and do today for a portion of the episode. I still haven't finished the sawmill build. We'll get back to that at some point. But for now, I want to try and get these frog lights. I don't really have any plans for the frog lights right now, but I do need a way to get them. End of story. I need a way to get them. And that's what we're going to work on today. So without further ado, let's jump into it and see if we can do this. Hopefully without dying too many more times. You may notice my experience is a little bit low. Uh, that is one part dying to all the piglin brutes, and one part we went ahead and made our second pickaxe that I was talking about in the previous episode. So I got all my gear back, luckily, and we haven't lost anything. And you may notice something else that we've done. Boom! We got a smite gold sword. This is kind of something special to me. I just wanted to be able to do this. Dual wield swords. That is kind of something I prefer doing in most video games. I'm not really a shield person. I have some shields here, but yeah, I don't really like using shields too often. It really depends on the type. Like some games, I love playing a paladin, and you kind of have to. Most games don't allow paladins to dual wield, so kind of have to. And I usually end up playing a paladin as a tank because I enjoy that playstyle a lot more than like playing a DPS paladin. It just doesn't make sense to me. A paladin should just be a tank. Now, one of the other things we were doing, because I died so many times to brutes, and we actually have a few deaths to creepers, is I started working on some new armor, as you can see right here. So this top row, we have protection 4 on all of them. And this bottom row, we went with blast protection because I'm tired of dying to creepers. This, for now, is probably just going to sit there. I don't really know what I'm going to do with that just yet. One of the things I would like to do is go ahead and get me some netherite armor. I may have enough uh, ancient debris to make that. Let's go find out. Because I've never made... Ooh, it's night figures. It's flying on over here. I did find a piece of scrap. This one? No. Where did I put it? Thought it was that one. Oh, yeah, here we go. So I did find a piece of scrap in one of them. I don't actually know how much this will make. Let's just go ahead and let's sleep first. I don't have a normal furnace anywhere, do I? No, I think all I've got are the other types of furnaces. A super furnace, that is. So we're going to use up some lava, which is not something I really want to do, but we have infinite lava, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and do this. Again, I have no idea how this works. I've never actually made netherite. And we may make a whole fresh set of armor. So give me a little bit of time. I'm going to figure this out, and then we're going to head over to the bastion. So hang in there. I'll be right back. Okay, we are over here at my mob farm and the guardian farm. I figured, these are kind of out of the way, so we might as well just put this one over here. And we got it working. It's working fine now. I had a few little issues that we had to figure out, but we got it working. See, all the layers are now flooded properly, and we got kind of a weird thing that I did here with the catch system, and it's actually been a little bit troublesome because I originally did this all wrong, which was causing just absolute chaos, and then I also had a few accidents here. So this project has been a giant pain in the butt. I don't think we have got it perfectly solved, but it is working properly. See, we got some zombies falling, and that's it. Just 2 zombies, and we got a lava source down in there. They are dying to that, and all the drops are coming down here. right into our chest array right here, and we have quite a bit of stuff in here already, but I need to get that out of there. We got tons and tons of bones, tons and tons of arrows, tons and tons of string. Let's get that out. And a lot of rotten flesh, and the occasional cooked chicken, because, chicken jockeys. That's a thing. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff going in here. Some of this stuff is not necessary. I don't need all the rotten flesh. I really don't think I need the bones. I definitely don't need all the arrows. And same goes for the gunpowder. We really don't need all the gunpowder because we already have a creeper farm back at my base area. But the whole reason this exists, and you may have noticed it in my inventory while we were looking through these, and you may have also paused it to see that we got some specific items in my inventory. We haven't gotten very much from this. Unfortunately, this is not going to spawn everything that, or spawn a lot of the things that we need to farm, but it is going to be a start and get us kind of on the way to that. And that is, we need to farm some witches. So I got spider eyes, glass bottles, and redstone. These are the three main things that I need in constant supply that I don't really have a decent way of getting right now. There are ways for me to get a lot of glass to make glass bottles, but it just seems like too much of a hassle, and I'd rather just have a farm made specifically for glass bottles. We're also getting a little bit of glowstone and some sugar from this. Again, we're not getting that much because witches are kind of a rare spawn, but we are getting some. Eventually, I would like to find a witch hut. Um, do those still exist? Because I haven't seen one. There's actually a swamp that direction somewhere. I don't remember exactly where it is, but there's no witch hut there. Then we got one back that way, roughly, behind or beside our base. And again, there's no witch hut back there. So I kind of had to come up with something because, I kind of need, I kind of like to have the free glass, the free glass bottles, let's say that correctly. And I also really like to have the free redstone. I keep running out of the stuff. We've been doing so much redstone projects, so many redstone projects that I've been constantly having to go back to my what are they called? Clerics? Yeah, clerics. Been having to constantly run back to my clerics, get up some emeralds, and trade for redstone, and we don't even have that many clerics, unfortunately. Um, I may expand the clerics eventually because I believe the clerics have glowstone as well. So it is a source that we can use. The problem with that is it takes time for those to reset. And in the previous clip, I showed you that some of them are not resetting their trades, and I don't know. I have no idea why they aren't resetting. Uh, that's going to be something we're going to have to figure out eventually because that's a bit of a problem. I don't know why they're not resetting. It may have been because we updated to 1.19, but I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get to the project at hand. We are going to build an item sorter. Excuse me. We are going to build an item sorter for all this, and get all this stuff organized because this is absolutely a mess. I don't think I'm going to keep all of it. I'm probably going to do 3 double chests of each one of them. Or not, well, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 of rotten flesh, 1, 2, 3 of arrows, and then 1, 2, 3 of gunpowder. But the main things we are after is the redstone, glass bottles, spider eyes, glowstone, and sugar. The bones, yeah, we probably will do a section of bones as well, but for the most part, that is the plan. And let me get to it. We'll get on with this and do a little bit of a time lapse here. I'm not gonna say my, you know, phrase for this. Okay, tell you what, we're rambling on. Let's just get on with the time lapse of me building this up. It is glorious. So we got everything in. The entire system is now up and running. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time here AFKing and get some drops, get these chests filled up. It may take forever with the witch drops, but we got a good start here. We got everything planned out, everything put together. The other drops ended up having to be its own little section with a lot more chests than I intended, but yeah, everything's good to go. We got everything taken care of. Like I said, I'm going to spend a little bit of time AFKing here, and we're going to get back to the main base in order to finish up the sawmill. We're actually we're not done with that. We got a lot more to do on that. So I'll be right back. Okay, we are back from the Guardian farm and the mob farm. We're back over here at my base, and like I said, we have to finish the sawmill build up. But we're gonna save our big time lapse for something else that we're gonna do. I'm gonna try and get this done off camera, and then I'll bring you back in when I've got it finished. So I'll see you in a bit. We interrupt this episode to bring you a public service announcement. Be very careful when you are listening to another YouTuber in the background and you're playing Minecraft at the same time, because then this happens. Yeah, I heard the creeper explosion. I didn't take any damage, and I thought it came from the video I was listening to in the background. Yeah, it turns out it was in my actual world. So we got a little bit of a repair that needs to be done. But that's it for this. Let's get back to the episode. Okay, so we're back over here at what is eventually going to be my main furnace array, smelting, and all that stuff that we need. Uh, I've done a little bit of work off camera. As you can see, we've expanded the floor layout. This is something I've thought about doing for a while now. However, the floor needs a little bit of work. As of right now, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the floor. I don't mind this being the ceiling of the bottom level and possibly the top up here. But we're going to try something different with the floor. I don't really have a plan right now. It's still kind of a work in progress. And this is also not the big time lapse. We're not going to be working on this yet. That's probably going to be for a later episode. I still barely have an idea of what I want to do here. Uh, I don't know if you can tell right now, but it's just a giant box at the moment. Just one big box. So we're going to have to think up an idea for a bit of shape to it so that it's not just a giant box. And if you notice, we got the roof done for the sawmill. Well, partially done, and we had to work on the sheep farm, wool farm, just a little bit. So let's forget that I don't have my rockets in there and fly on over here and show you what I've done. So I've gone with a kind of odd little roof design here. We got like a layer below here, so these stripped oak logs kind of peek through, and then I wanted to bring in some of the warped wart blocks along with the stripped wart wood. That is a mouthful. Try saying that 5 times fast. But I wanted to bring those two in and try just play around a little bit with color here. Otherwise, this would have just been Kind of like this roof over here, just a giant green blob with no real interest, no real detail on it. It's got an interesting shape, but let's face it, it's very boring. There's not much to it. It's very flat looking. So I decided to come in here and play around with a few little blocks. There's still a couple of things I'm tempted in trying. I might put a ring around these two layers of half slabs, and it's about to be night. So let's go on back over here. And the main reason I brought you in on this because I was doing all that work and I was like, you know what, that could have made some content. Oh well, it is something that we did. Now, another thing I did is I did try to make this look like a giant smokestack. It sort of works and it sort of doesn't. I didn't want to lag out my world with particle effects, so I decided to go with just 5 campfires in here and then a layer of carpet so nothing spawns. It gives the effect. It's probably a little too big, but I needed that to incorporate the tree farm. What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? Uh, TNT duper. There we go. TNT duper. Yeah, yeah. Totally knew it first time. But yeah, so that's kind of what we went for there. And if we can hopefully do this. We got the top layer here. I wanted this open because I often do try to fly in here. And this gives me a nice little spot to land. So this is wide. This is wide open. Um, I'm, I wanted it a little bit taller. This is only 3 tall here. Oh well, kind of an oversight on my part, but it works. As far as the rest of it, we did do some work on the roof itself. I'm still not really sure how to deal with this roof line, being that we got such a crazy pattern going on. I do think it gives it a little bit of interest because it's not perfectly even. Over here it is kind of even. It's still a work in progress. We're going to figure out some things. And one of the things I thought about is in these spots right here, the wood is not actually connected. We may try and put some, I think it's stripped wood block is what it's called. We may try and put some of those in some of these corners, like, let's see if we can get over here and show you this one. Yeah, right here and here. There's another couple of them. There's some more right here. It just kind of ends, and then we got the inner wood texture poking out. So that's something I need to work on and figure out. And I'm sure if we fly on down here, yeah, you can kind of see what I'm talking about, where we got that poking out, and then it's not really connected to the next one. So that's something I'm gonna have to think about and see what I can come up with on it. Some of these are not like perfect. Like I didn't put a poke out piece there. And then the roof line is kind of atrocious, but you know, we're playing around with some things here, testing out some ideas and just playing with some color and trying to figure out exactly how we want things to look. If we come on up here, you'll see that I've got prismarine for this roof line. I wanted that kind of spiky look. Unfortunately, you know, with how iron bars and walls work, you can't really keep them separated. I really wish we had a way to separate these so that I could just have this poking up, have one next to it poking up, and then so on and so forth all the way around. But instead, they just connect. So, yeah, Mojang, if you can think of a way to actually have that kind of effect, I'm sure me and a lot of others would appreciate that. Like maybe just a new iron bar type that we can make, or maybe change it and have some other thing added. Yeah, I don't really have an idea there. It's just a thought. I kind of wish I could have that spiky roof look right here, but I can't because of the way these work. And moving on from that, we got 4 of these lightning rods here. Hopefully that'll keep all the wood safe. I do need to do that over there. I'm actually surprised that this hasn't burnt down yet. Because that actually, you can see a spot right there where I never finished it. The roof of the house originally burnt down. I had to rebuild all of that. Like I logged in after an AFK. I logged in after AFK. I got home from work one day and got on, and my entire roof was gone. It burnt down. Like 90% of the house was gone. Yeah, it was not a good day. It all burnt, and I was very sad, and I had to redo all of that. So that's part of the reason why the house is as yet unfinished. The other part of that is, and you may notice that with some of these, we have used quite a bit of prismarine. On these two, we got a little bit of prismarine up there, and then we got warped wood. Uh, it is the right shade, but I'm going for steampunk. We need more copper, a lot more copper. And that's part of the reason why I took the risk and tried to update my world is because I need to be able to find more copper. We don't have enough. So yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to go out and search for it. I have done a little bit towards that end. We didn't get much. We did get some, but we're gonna need a lot more. Like I need to be able to fill up a shulker shell with copper blocks. So we do have a lot of copper ingots here, but again, this is not that much because if you really think about it, 4 stacks of these is going to equal, I think. Yeah, so 9 stacks is going to equal 1 stack. All right, we're breaking stuff. So yeah, that's something we're going to have to work on. I do have the copper farm over here that I haven't been to in a while. This is very, very slow and tedious, and it requires not a whole lot of attention, but I can't really. It's kind of twofold. We got kind of a little bamboo farm there to keep this furnace full of fuel, because I do. On occasion, I come over here and AFK at this thing. This is a zombie converter, so they convert into drown and hopefully give us a bunch of copper, but as you can see, well, with the exception of that one, this is all the copper we've gotten out of it so far, and it has existed for a very long time. It doesn't work that great. It's very slow, and again, it's very tedious. So we need to figure out a way to make this work a lot better. Now I know Tango has made a couple of different designs where it uses the reinforce mechanic to call in more zombies. I'm thinking we may end up changing this around some to try and bring in that reinforcement mechanic. Like maybe out this wall. I'm not really sure what I want to do there, but this is not working like it should. So we're gonna have to figure out some things. It's very, very slow and very, very tedious. But yeah, I've got more stuff to go and collect. I got resources I gotta gather. We were actually gathering some stuff. That's why I was working on the furnace room or the furnace build. That is the real reason. Yeah, we're not even gonna worry about those zombies. Because I have a whole bunch of cobblestone over here smelting, and after doing this, like originally I was mining out all this stone because we're going to need it for the get the camera in the right angle. Okay, so we need all the stone for what we're actually going to be doing the main time lapse for, and that is part of the reason why I decided to start working on expanding this, because this is painfully slow. Like we've got one chest, one shulker chest, and a partial amount of another one full of stone bricks. And we took all the cobble from the cobble farm. Uh, Considering how long this is taking, though, I probably should have just kept mining it. Yeah, I think it would have been a lot faster just to gather all the cobblestone, cobblestone, gather all the stone by hand. So this is still gonna take a while. Yeah, I didn't think that one through too much. But yeah, that's where we're at. And like I said, I'm gonna stay over here, gather up some more resources. Maybe I'll work on the furnace array a little bit, maybe not. I'm not really sure at this point. We got a lot of other things that we need to work on, including today's time lapse. So let me get at it, and I'll bring you right back in with that time lapse. All right, we're back, and as you can tell by the wall around me, I've been doing a little bit of work on what I am deeming the Foundry. I don't know why, it just sounded like a good name. But the most part, I've been working on all this and not doing a time lapse for it, simply because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting on stuff to smelt, and we still got a long way to go. Uh, we did just get all of these stone brick in here so that we are getting cracked stone bricks. But we pretty much got everything else. We got mossy cobble in this one. We got regular stone here. This is our last mossy stone brick. That's going to be the cracked bricks when we get done, and this is the stone bricks right here. So we pretty much I forgot regular cobblestone. Okay, so yeah, that'll be easy. We got the cobblestone farm over there, but we still need to fill up another shulker. I'm gonna have to build a shulker farm at some point. I have been making and using up all of the shulker shells that I actually got when I went in raiding like a couple months ago actually. I'm not sure when I did that. But yeah, we're gonna have to do an episode of some in raiding. Maybe a shulker farm. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I would like to actually make it in the end. That way it's not here and it literally has to be loaded for it to be running. I don't know how that's going to go over. But yeah, um, well, that and getting a shulker over here would be a giant pain in the bum. And I just don't have the patience for making a shulker farm in the overworld. We may, if I decide to do it, I'm probably going to do it in the end if it is even possible. I don't actually know. I know Impulse made one in one of his videos, and I'm not really sure whose shulker farm that is. We'll have to find that and possibly make it in a future episode because, oh my gosh, I am using up so many shulker shells. But our storage is looking a little bit better. So let me get back to the, wow, excuse me. Let me get back to this and let's get all this cracked brick made up, which is still going to take a while. Ah, the grind. The grind is real. But as soon as I get done with that, let's just go ahead and say it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Leave a comment. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Don't, don't, don't. No, 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 no. We can't do that. That's copyright. You know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. Well, maybe you do. I actually don't know if you do know. Maybe you're coming across me and you're seeing me for the first time. Maybe you're one of the few people that have watched me a while. But it's that time. We're going to finish this up and jump straight into it. Are you ready? Let's go ahead and say it. Grab a drink, grab a snack, And let's crank up the tunes and get this time lapse going. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little time lapse of me working on the wharf dock. Eventually, we'll get it all finished and bring you back in on it. Right now, I've got to find my way back to base. Yeah, as I was wrapping up on that portion of the time lapse, a creeper came up behind me and blew me up, which blew up my bed. So now I've got to figure out how to get back home. We are back here at spawn. Uh, that's what I get for making my base so far away from spawn. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you really liked it, please like the video. And if you absolutely loved it, please subscribe. And, there's something that's bothering me. And, Felicia, log me out. I gotta check something.
Captain Natanis, you have not logged enough time in the Matrix. Is something wrong?
Yes, something is wrong. Something is very wrong, and I'm surprised I haven't noticed it. We've been monitoring signals from multiple people from multiple dimensions. We've seen their counterparts doing incredible work, feats of redstone engineering to massive colony setups, works in dimensions such as Kingdomcraft, Hermitcraft, Empires, Pixelmon, Vault Hunters, Worldcraft, Nerdcrafteria, the Life Dimension, and even the mysterious Psycraft Dimension. With all these people, there is always an alternate out there.
Captain Natanis, that is correct. In every dimension there is another version of a person, different in some ways but the same in others. This is an unchangeable fact. I see no issue here. What is it you are thinking, Captain?
Out of all the voices we have heard, the works we have seen done, the colonies being set up, there's one thing that bothers me. One specific voice I haven't heard from any of the other dimensions. Felicia, refine your search. We're looking for a specific voice coming through the dimensions. There's someone out there we haven't heard from.
Refining search. Captain, whose voice pattern do I need to locate in the storm of voices bleeding through the various rifts? Captain, I repeat, whose voice pattern do I need to locate in the storm of voices bleeding through the various rifts? Captain Natanis, whose voice pattern do I need to locate? Captain, your input is required. Whose voice should I lock onto? Captain Natanis, your input is required. Are you there? Break in the fourth wall detected. Are you trying to fill empty air with meaningless chat from me in order to bridge the next section of voiceovers? Captain, please respond. This filler voiceover is quite tedious for you to come up with. Please respond. Whose voice pattern should I lock onto in the chorus of voices coming from various dimensions?
This may sound odd, Felicia, but trust me and just go with it. The one voice you should filter out is... mine.